Yeah. Okay. So network of entrepreneurs, but so so economics is buy sell trade. Simplest term is buy sell trade. We've stopped selling. We've stopped selling. We stopped making products. We've stopped providing services. We've stopped the selling part of the equation. The selling part is the biggest part of the equation. We're buying all day. We're buying till we're blue in the face. We're spending money on garbage. Garbage. You know? It's the difference between this is how you gotta think about it. When it comes to money, right? You have to spend money on things that bring value back to you. Okay? If you don't spend your money on something that brings value back to you, you're throwing it away. So don't just spend money just to spend money, but spend money on things that have a value. Okay, if you buy a computer, that computer is going to bring value back to you for, a year or two, a couple years. You're going to be able to get a lot done on it. You spend money on rent. You get to live in the house. You get to be, protected from the elements when it gets too cold or too hot. Those bring a benefit back to you. Spending $300-400 on something, some clothes that you're gonna wear a couple times, or spinning rims on your car, or you know, just just silly stuff out at the club, or any number of things, wasteful things that we spend our money on. Ladies with the fake hair. I don't know how else. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Just a little off topic. Actually, it's not off topic. It's right on topic. I saw the Chris Rock movie Good Hair. I was blown away by how much women spend on that stuff. That's craziness. That's craziness. That's a mortgage. That's a mortgage. Okay? So what I'm saying is that you got to put money into things that are going to bring value back to you. And so when you're making money and you're saving money and you're spending money, what you want to do is you want to save enough to invest in something, either a business of your own, or if you like some, if you even maybe you don't, maybe business is not your thing. Maybe you want to do something else. Well, then save up some money and link up with somebody that is doing a business and invest in a business and just put money in and take money out. Say like, I'll be a partner in your business. I'll break you off with some dough, and then in return, you run the business, but then you just break me off with the dough for my financial contributions, whatever role you want to play. But there's a role for everybody. There's a role for everybody, so you got to get in where you fit in. Okay, so that's why you have this network of entrepreneurs. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to have a network of entrepreneurs in a community, right? And everybody spend their money with the other entrepreneurs in the community who are providing high quality products. This is simple stuff. And this is demonstrated by, all respect to all people, but you go to any major city, you go to the Chinatown. You go to the Latino neighborhoods. You go to the even here in NYC, the West African neighborhoods. They getting it together. They own the stores, they own the shops, they shop with each other, they support each other, they link with each other. You go into Chinatown, you see 20 businesses in a 2 block radius, all selling the same thing, all thriving. How's that possible? Because everybody in that community is spending money in that community. So it don't matter if I'm selling the same thing you're selling. Especially when you're dealing with a dense population. You know what I'm saying? There's more than enough products to go around. Food, you can always sell food, clothes, daily items that you're gonna need, toiletries. I mean, there's markets for everything. Anything you want to get into, there's a market for it. We could sustain our community just if everybody sold food, clothes, and water. Just those 3 things alone could sustain any community, right? But think about the plethora of products you can get into that you can sell. Think about the plethora of services that we can provide. Okay, and we need key people in all these areas. We need a network of entrepreneurs in all these areas. Okay, so that's how these communities thrive. That's what is meant by keeping the money in the community. So you spend the money in the community with the people from the community, but then they have a responsibility on top of that to be invested in the community. So what does that mean? That means I'm a business owner. People come to me and spend money, but guess where I spend my money? In the community. right? They come to me. The community comes to me, buys my products, keeps me afloat, keeps me successful. So what do? I take that money, I turn right around, and I'm hiring people from that community to work in my establishment. Okay, I'm going to the other people who are supporting my business, and I'm supporting their business. I don't buy my soap from the store. I buy it from my peoples. You know, I buy it from my peoples. I might buy more than I need. I might start stashing soap just to make sure I can go buy a few bars from him every month. Maybe I want to buy 10 bars from him every month. Maybe I don't even use that. Maybe I'll start stacking. It's a few dollars. It doesn't matter. It's all coming back regardless. Because back to the same principle, what's good for the community is good for the individual. Okay? So we're setting all this up. I'm going to go back in time, and I'm going to give a little bit of a historical perspective here in a minute. But I'm setting all this up to paint a picture of what this should look like. But we all know what it looks like because we've been in neighborhoods where they have their community economics together and everybody's working on the same page toward the same goal with the same entrepreneurial spirit. We've been in those neighborhoods and we see what it looks like, right? We need to be a part of that. You know, these principles are not esoteric. They're very straightforward in what needs to happen to have a successful community economic plan, and that is a network of entrepreneurs. You have to be linked in with a network of entrepreneurs, and you will take over your community economics. Buy something, sell something, whatever you can sell. If you can make it, even better. If you know where to get it, if you got a good connect for it, sell it. If it's a service that you're good at, sell it. And if you don't want to do any of that, then just invest. But one way or another, the people who are vested positively in the community need to be connected in an economic network. And that's why integrity is plays such a high part in this, is because I can't go into business with you if I don't trust you. That's not business. That's a weak form of business that is it's foreign. You know? It's foreign. So that's why your integrity has to be up. And you gotta deal with people of high integrity. Okay. So did I cover everything from that I wanted to? I feel like I did. Let me check these notes right here. I'm gonna sit with it just for one. The next part is a historical perspective, but I want to sit with this for just one more second, just to make sure I got everything, and I'm laying the context for where we're going. The community. We are not gonna get out of this current economic crisis. This is the way out of this current economic crisis. The economic solution for what's best for us and the economic solution to get out of this crisis are one and the same, and that is entrepreneurship and community economics, putting the sell back into buy-sell trade. That's how we're going to get out of this. If you think that we can sit on our hands and wait for Congress, wait for the politicians, or at least of all, wait for these corporations to turn this thing around and to create a more balanced economic system where people can, do their thing. No. The wealth gap, the gap between the rich and the poor has been increasing since time began. It's at its highest point, highest disparity right now that it's ever been at. And it's only getting worse. And you see this financial crisis that just happened. And just to be perfectly honest, it's going to get a lot better. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But we can be catalysts in that process of it getting better by starting on this right now. And that is building back up the entrepreneurial spirit of the community with the people in the community who are invested in the community. That's what's going to bring us out of this. That's the only thing that's going to bring us out of this that I can see. I'm open to other options, but you ain't got to reinvent the wheel. This is how successful economies go. This is how they're designed. This is how they're structured. This is how they operate. All we got to do is follow the blueprint. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Okay? It just takes organization. So you need a network of entrepreneurs who are organized in what everybody is buying and selling, who are organized in their transportation of goods and services, who are high in their integrity, and that's it. You're eating. You're good. You know, you're good. Um, so that's the meat of it. That's the meat of it. And now we're going to get into a little bit more detail. We're going to get a little bit more detail because this is such an important topic right now. And man, I just want to make sure that I'm conveying all the information needed in order to make this a successful transmission. Okay. All right. So, how do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? First of all, you need to save your money. Okay, you need to save your money. And shout out to my man Ash Cash. He always had this line where he would say, "You're never going to get where you want to be able to live comfortably working a 9 to 5. It's just not going to happen. 9 to 5s are built and designed to keep you working check to check. Unless you're in a rare circumstance where your income is so much higher than what you spend on living. So if you're making $10,000 a month, I don't know, you're making $10,000 a month, but you only need $1,000 to live life, then you can save like that. Like you can create a good, decent, moderate bit of wealth for yourself just off that. But for the average person, that's not the case. For the average person, it's difficult to save because one, the cost of living and what you're making are much closer together, and then two, stuff pops up. So you're saving money. You save $500 this month, and you save $400 the next month, then you save $450 the next month. But then your car breaks down. Then your son or daughter needs to go to the doctor, or some kind of expense pops up. Expenses pop up, sets you back. Okay, that's the cycle. So I'm saying that to say, working 9 to 5, check to check is not an effective strategy for building, saving money, and creating the kind of lifestyle that you really want to ultimately be living, where you're comfortable and you don't have to do that. You're not going to get there like that. What you can do is use that 9 to 5, save your money, but then when you have a decent sum saved up, don't spend it on a vacation going to Florida or Puerto Rico or wherever. Don't take that G and throw it away. Take that G and invest it in a small business of yourself. Sell something. It damn near doesn't matter what it is. Because in the network of entrepreneurs, what we understand is we support each other's agenda. We support each other. We support each other's endeavors. So that's why I said, even you selling soap, even if I don't need that much soap, I'm going to buy 10 bars a month off you just because that's the principle. And if it's good soap, I might buy 100 bars off you a month and become a outlet by which you can sell more. So then all of a sudden you get that consistent clientele when you hit me out with 100 bars of soap every month, and I'm selling them for you. I'm selling them with you. I take some, you take some. Business. Again, back to the making sure we both have a high integrity and we both have a high honesty level and we both have honor. We can do that. We can arrange that kind of business circumstance. So sell something, sell anything, and just make sure it's of a high quality so that the people want to come back. Because no matter how much you support the community, nobody gonna want to buy your stuff if it's a low quality. If it's if it's no good, if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. All right, so we're gonna get into the history now.